Shalom, everybody. Hi, it's me, Vanessa Malave, and you're watching Moving on Faith Ministries. And it is Think About It Thursday. And as I like to say, you're going to have to think about it. So this is part 3 of Attack on the Family Unit. And today we're talking about the children, ladies and gentlemen. And this one is definitely a topic that is near and dear to my heart. The level of dedication and devotion I have to being a parent, I'm sure I share with many parents out there, and my concerns are definitely warranted. And I'm sure that many of you share in the same type of concerns that I have. Now, there are some of you who are not concerned about the things that I'm concerned about. And for you, I feel sorry for your child. Maybe that sounds rude. I don't care. It's the truth. Now, let's talk about it. Now, there is a major attack happening on our children, right? Kids nowadays, they're surrounded by temptations and distractions of Satan every day. They are being enticed and completely distracted by video games, social media, music, movies, all types of stuff. I mean, what they have nowadays, they didn't have in my day. When I was younger, they had a little bit of it, but even then, that was wicked as heck. And so I can't even imagine what they're being exposed to now, what parents are allowing them to be exposed to now, because they themselves are too distracted or too busy to really censor what their children are actually seeing, hearing, watching, or doing. And that falls on the parents, not the kids. Now, all of which are pumping wickedness into their developing minds. Okay, these young people are being told all types of crazy things. They're seeing things that we didn't see until we became adults. And even then, these kids are being conditioned. They are being conditioned to think the way they are being told to think, right? They're being told, think this way, react this way, feel this way. This is how you think. This is what you do. This is what's right. This is what's wrong. But the worst part of it all is that they are being conditioned to believe that what is evil is actually good. And if you are raising your child to serve Yah in truth and in righteousness, according to his word, and your belief system goes in direct opposition to what the world's belief system is, they are now convincing your child that they are wrong for that that is bad. I literally, in my former life, I worked with students, and I remember one of my 8th graders, asking me. She said, "Oh, we and it, mind you, it was a Catholic school. Oh, Miss Vanessa, we practice tolerance." And she said, "Aren't you tolerant?" And I said, "Nope, heck no." And she said, "Miss Vanessa, you're not tolerant? Why not?" And I said, because God's not tolerant. And I don't serve the world. I serve God. And see, God is going to destroy all of that. So you can go ahead and be tolerant if you want. But me, I'm not being tolerant. And you can call me whatever you want to call me. Fine with it. You can say whatever you want to say about me. Cool with it. Cool with it. Because at the end of the day, I would rather suffer all that persecution than to go against what Yah has clearly said is evil. Now, again, so they're being told what is evil is good and what is good is evil. And they're being conditioned to think this way, not only in social media, not only with what they're seeing and listening to, but in schools, they are being taught this. This whole tolerance agenda is being pushed heavier than healthy eating. I mean, it's incredible. These kids that are failing at math and reading seem to know every single thing there is to know about the LGBTQ, ABCDEFG community. They know all the different sexual pronouns and preferences and identities and all that mumbo jumbo. They know all of that. Can't read a book. Okay, can't do multiplication or division, but they know all that. Why? Why are the schools focusing time, resources, and money talking about sexual identity when these kids can't even pass a freaking state test for reading and writing? Does anybody not realize what's wrong there? What's wrong with that situation? Isn't school supposed to be a place where kids are learning how to do those things? Reading, writing, math? No, no, they're wasting your tax dollars on teaching them, hey, you can be this if you want to be, and tomorrow you can be this. And guess what? We're going to pump you with hormones until you can't think straight. And then 10 years down the line, when you realize you were just a tomboy, now it's too late because you done chopped your breasts off. Like, it's absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why aren't more parents outraged? Why aren't more parents standing up and going against the education system to say, you need to stop this? Better yet, why aren't you removing your kids out of these schools? These places that are clearly putting in Satan's doctrine of confusion into your child. It's the wildest thing. If your child was in a burning house, you would go in and pull them out. And yet you're sending your children to school in a place where it's indoctrinating them and teaching them how to live wickedly and how to be and live in direct opposition to Yah. The one who can create, the one who controls where their spirit and their soul goes to once they die. And you're not saving them. As their parent, you're not saving them. You're offering them up on a silver platter to Satan, and you're saying, you know what? Me bringing in a couple extra dollars is more important. Or, you know what? I love my kid, but I can't stay all day with them because they drive me crazy. Send them to school. That's a lot easier for me to deal with than actually having to deal with my own children and teach them. It's the wildest thing. It's sad. I feel bad for those children. I really do. Now, the crazy thing is Satan's doctrine of confusion is stronger than ever. It is going so far as to having infiltrated the schools, right? Even implanting teachers who are pushing this doctrine heavier than anything you would ever imagine. It's absurd. Now, they are forcing this idea of tolerance down these children's throats. Children who can't even spell the word tolerance are pushing tolerance. What is that? What is that? And God forbid you decide to raise your children according to the word. God forbid you decide to teach your child what is right and what is wrong according to the Bible. You are now being looked at as someone who is as bad as I would say a racist. You know, the label and the stigma that is being put on those of us who want to align ourselves and our children and our families and our homes and our walk with Yah. We are being treated like we are the scum of the earth because we're not accepting and tolerating the abominations that are running rampant in our community, in our schools, and in this world, right? Now, they want to push this doctrine, right? We just have to love everybody because love is love. Wrong. Love ain't love. Love ain't love. Okay? Loving something that is against Yah is not love. That's rebellion. The scripture tells us that rebellion is as bad as witchcraft. And all witches will be put to death, according to the word. Shall not suffer a witch to live. So keep this in mind, like your rebellion is going to lead you down a road where I'm sure you don't want to go. But the more important part about it is you are leading your children down that road. Or you are allowing your children to be led down that road. What's even more disgusting and disturbing is that the education system is promoting this body dysmorphia, convincing these young, impressionable children that they can identify as whatever they want to identify with. And the worst part about this is they are telling these children, you can do this, and we'll keep it a secret. You don't have to tell your parents. Matter of fact, you can come to school, change your clothes in the bathroom, and I won't say anything to your mom or your dad. Because they're just the ones who birthed and raised you. They don't deserve to know what's going on in your life. You can go ahead and try that with some other kids if you want. That's not happening with me and my kids. No. I'm the parent. I'm the mom. I say what they do and what they don't do. I say what goes, not a teacher, not an education system. Sorry. And FYI, the public education system actually sucks. Homeschool children are significantly more advanced than public school children. And I'm not trying to put anybody down, but the bottom line is you could do even if you didn't have a high school diploma, you could do a better job teaching your kids than sending them to school. And that's a fact. The numbers don't lie. The statistics show. Okay? Now, Satan, right? He is the master of deception. But even more than that, he is a fantastic strategist. Ladies, he is a fantastic strategist. Do not underestimate your opponent, because your opponent is well versed. Your opponent knows your weaknesses. He knows exactly what to dangle in front of your face to make you slip up, make you fumble. The problem is that as a parent, you hold the lives of your children in your hands. So when you fumble and you drop that ball, you're dropping them. Okay? Now, going back to part 1 and part 2 of our Think About It discussions over the past couple weeks, the attack on the family home. The attack was on our men, the attack is on our women, and the attack is on our children. Let's sum it up. See, with dad out of the house, either out of the house or completely distracted by work, video games, or lust, and mom is out working 2 jobs or too busy posting half-naked selfies on Instagram, the children are now left alone. They are left alone and they are unprotected. They are left in the perfect position to be seduced, attacked, infiltrated, and indoctrinated by Satan himself, grooming a generation that is growing and navigating in a direct opposition to Yah and to their true function. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Take your kids out to schools. You want to do something for your kid? You want to really show that you love them? Take your children out of the schools before it's too late. And sometimes that might mean you have to find a different way. You work day shifts? Well, you might have to work night shifts. You know, you have a 2-family income? Well, you might need to downsize a little bit. Trade in that 2022 whip for an older model that costs less. That way you can afford to take that pay cut. Have a parent stay home to teach. Like, figure it out, because your children's salvation is at stake. Do not think because simply you're a nice person, you're going to make it to heaven. That's not how this works. If somebody told you that, they lied to you. They lied to you. But your salvation and your children's salvation is in your hands. So you figure out what you want to do about it. Me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord, and we gonna do our thing, and we gonna homeschool, and it's gonna be tough, but it's okay. We're gonna make it, because when Yah's with us, who can be against us? But I'll tell you what, as a parent, my job is to protect, defend, and to raise and guard my children, and I take my job very seriously. Pray on it, meditate on it. But most of all, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all that you do, think, and speak. Shalom.